The time is upon us. The time is upon us to talk about Halloween Ends, and it's a wee bit different tonight because we're not live, James.
Are you sure?
Hi. We're not
You should
live.
have a big red dot in the corner that says live. It kind of makes me a wee bit suspicious.
No, I promise you we're not live.
Right.
It's
Are you sure?
genuine.
So, hang on a minute. I'll just see if I've got any notifications about the page going live.
No, I know it does say live on the corner, but that's just because we're recording it tonight. We're recording this because it's very late. J-Mac has work commitments. I have many other commitments, and this is the night that I was able to watch it, and J-Mac's already seen it, and this is basically the only time we can talk about it together without waiting a week to do it live. So we had to go ahead and just do it tonight. So I'm just fresh at the station, right? I only watched it a couple of hours ago.
Me
J-Mac,
too, by the way.
a couple of hours ago, no, aye.
I rewatched it again on
Wow.
Peacock with the missus. And
Class.
we were both so glad that we did. So
Class.
yeah.
Well,
It's been a wait. It's been a long wait, and it's been an experience to say the least.
Well, this episode is going to be full of spoilers. So anyone that's watching now or listening at home in the archives, you may want to tune out, go watch the movie, then come back, or don't. It's really up to you. It makes our life. In fact, it does. It does kind of help because if you all listen to it, we'll get paid, and we get paid. We travel the world. You know how it goes. We can travel the world.
We get paid. We can buy a Mars bar.
If we're lucky. So, mate, when Halloween 2018 came out and Jamie Lee Curtis was back, I was like, yeah, right. Halloween 2018, and I'm in the trope now of just totally forgiving movies for their wee mistakes and the wee that's unrealistic and how did it get there so quick. I forgive it, right? Because it's hard to make a movie, right? Especially when you got to stick to a time scale. It's very.
Aye, imagine we had one of them.
I know. And like, come on, we're there to suspend our disbelief. So I'm not going to spend a whole time picking it apart. So this is what I'm saying here will resonate throughout this episode. So I forgave its miscomings. Halloween Kills got slaughtered by many. The dialogue was pretty weak. Yes.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight. I'm still very happy with Halloween Kills. I'm happy. I watched it again recently. I was like, you know what? Not as bad, because I think we go into these movies with expectations, right? We're going with expectations. Halloween Ends. Well, just seen it, and by the way, I had seen all over social media, all my friends that had seen it. They're telling me, Kev, you're not gonna like it, man. Oh, it's pish. Oh, it's really bad for this, that, and the next thing. And I'm like, you know what? I know what you're all saying, and I get it. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to forgive it automatically, right? Because And the reason I'm going to forgive it automatically is if someone handed me the Friday the 13th franchise and says, here's the budget, you're going to make a trilogy. Do you think I'm going to go, do you know what? I'm going to make the same movie that's already been made about 12 times again. Or am I going to go, do you know what? Let's try and do something different with it. Now, had we been handed Halloween Ends and it's pretty much what everybody expected, they'd still complain. So again, I'm going to forgive it for a lot of what makes it not palatable for all the fans. But we're going to get into it, J-Mac. So
yes,
I know,
we are. Yes.
I know.
I'm very much looking forward to doing so, Kevin.
Overall, like, I understand the gripes. I understand the gripes.
There was I've seen that face so many times when I've given you an idea.
No, not always. There is. Mate, you never talk about the face I give you when you give me a good idea, because that face happens too, and I've pointed it out to you several times.
I've never seen it.
It's the eyes. It's this. That's a class idea, J-Mac.
Aye. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen it.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Fucking, this was. I knew at the point when, like, because it comes on, you're like, Michael's not getting about yet, right? You get your start, and I thought, we're not getting Michael at the start. I know we're not getting Michael, right? There was a point in the movie where I went, oh shit, we're doing this, and it's the very point where Michael is choking young, is it Corey? Is it Cole or Corey? I'll tell you now. It's Corey. I was Corey. Right. So he's choking young Corey, and you're looking into the eyes, and many perceive this to be the passing of the evil. I disagree. I believe this, and this, by the way, when I say many, I believe everyone in the cinema that I stopped and was like, tell me what you thought, friends and whatnot, right? I believe this to be Michael seeing something in this kid that he sees in himself, because he spends that much time looking at his reflection in the mirror. You know, they say he's in Halloween Kills, they say, oh, he spends all his time after killing folk staring through that window, looking out. And they're like, no, what if he's looking in? Because he's looking in at his own eyes. That's where the darkness lies. And I think for the first time in Michael's life, he saw that in someone else and didn't kill him. So I don't think Michael transferred anything over to Corey. I think Corey was already. And by the way, that very funny scene right at the start where the kid comes flying down the stairs and snaps into bits. There was a delay between him getting hit in the face and him coming over that balcony. There was a delay.
I don't know, man. It was a high ceiling, like it was high.
There was a delay. All I'm saying is I think he got hauled after
that. I don't know, man.
Go back and watch it.
I think no, I did tonight.
There was a delay.
I think there had to be a delay. I think if it happened too quickly, everybody would just go, all right, that's happening. But with there being a delay, you're not quite sure what's going to happen. Then all of a sudden, Saka dies and it happens.
No, but the thing is, you hear him say, I'm going to kill you, after he's already kicked him in the face. He kicks him in the face, the parents come through the door. Then he falls. Now, if the door hitting him in the face made him stumble back and fall, that would have happened just as the parents were coming in, but they were already in.
I like how you preface your whole podcast tonight on, I'm not going to pick it apart too much. And then the first bit, you're like, picking it apart like fuck.
No. So, he did throw him. That's all I'm saying is I got enough from it. For all its misgivings, I definitely feel like we got a bit of development within the characters.
Oh, I mean, there's 100%. They did try and do something different. They have tried to spend a bit more time with character development and people having story arcs and stuff like that, right? That's fair enough. But the thing is, I'm going to be honest here. When I go see a Halloween film, I want to see a Halloween film. I want to see Michael Myers. Nobody goes to Halloween to see pumpkin masks that have maggots coming out of them and shit. Well, apparently some people do now. But yeah, it's taken a long time for that to happen. I know you're one of the OGs when it comes to Halloween 3 fandom. But
mate, yes.
For me, this film is way down there with Halloween 3.
What do you mean way down there? It's class.
It's class if you're words you can't say anymore.
If it wasn't a Halloween film, you'd have liked it.
I don't think I would have. And I genuinely think I don't think I would have even bothered with it if it didn't have the Michael Myers attachment. Right. I think we're getting a bit too far ahead of ourselves here, right? So what we've got here. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, aye. Well. You ready for this, mate? You ready for this? Slazenger. So I knew something was wrong right from the very beginning. Like as soon as the film started, there was some DJ rambling on about nonsense, and then the main title sequence with the pumpkins and stuff, like the pumpkin effect was cool, like the little pumpkin coming from inside the big fucking pumpkin, that was cool, but it gave away the whole game, first of all. But second of all, instead of having that nice orange tone credits, like the writing itself, normally it's in orange, that pumpkin color. This one was like fucking Star Trek: The Next Generation. I don't know what they were thinking with the blue titles for the opening. I was confused by it for about 3 seconds. Then I went, "Oh, okay, they're trying something different. Brilliant. That's always worked in the past for Halloween." No, it hasn't. It hasn't. They tried it with Halloween 3 and went, "Oops, we made a big ass mistake," and they went back and brought Michael Myers back for another 8 films, 10 films, 15. I don't know. I think this is the 13th film of the franchise, which is impressive to say the least. I mean, it goes to show you how endeared people are by the characters in Halloween, and how much just how synonymous the name Halloween is with Michael Myers. So you've got a franchise about this character called Michael Myers. Fucking use him. Use him.
Kind of felt like
there was stuff going on in this film where I was just like, I mean, how long do you have to wait to even see Michael? In fact, we checked because my wife, when Michael showed up, my wife went, "Fucking hell, finally." It was 40 minutes before you even get a glimpse of Michael. 40 minutes, man.
And when you consider the movie's 1 hour 50 minutes,
yeah,
that's
including credits.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing as well, Michael's what I did appreciate was the realism. Even though like Halloween Kills, you're like, wait a minute, he's been shot, stabbed, had his head kicked in, still gets up. You're seeing now that Michael spent a lot of his time in that wee tunnel, and he's fucking burst because they kicked fuck at him in Halloween Kills. You're seeing that he's actually having to deal with that, and I think that's how Jamie Lee Curtis at the end is able to fuck him up, because he's not Michael of 2018, you know?
I mean, again, that kind of annoys me a wee bit, because it's one of the things about Michael Myers is the fact that there maybe is this supernatural element to him where he can survive anything, and he has up until now. Even in this trilogy, he has survived. He has survived the unsurvivable, but now all of a sudden he's pretty much a boy here away from a nursing home, and it doesn't feel right for Michael Myers. But anyway.
All right. The way that they actually finally get rid of him, I was like, oh no.
Whoa. Settle. Calm the horses. Get them back in the stable. There are many tracks to be laid before the horses can be released.
Keep me on track, man. Keep me on track.
I will. I'm determined to do so. So, you could see right that opening title sequence, like we said, with the pumpkins and the small ones coming from inside and bursting through. And I don't know if it was an exact kind of homage to previous openings where one pumpkin led to the next pumpkin that appeared in the next sequel, sort of thing. I think there might have been something like that going on. I might be completely wrong. But that was cool. But it did just completely give the game away. But it's like, so many reviews that I've seen of this since I've seen the film the first time. They're all saying the same thing. Oh, it's trying to do something new. It's doing something original. It's actually fucking not. It's the same shit that was going on in Halloween 4 and 5. It's just this evil is just a thing, and it can get transferred from one to another slightly differently in this. I'll give it that, but did it really work in Halloween 4 and 5? I don't think so. I think that those films, as entertaining as they might be, they're not. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
The movie moved on 4 years, so it moves on the first year, and then it moves on another 3 years after that, and that's where we end up in Halloween Ends. And one thing it gets me straight up, like, okay, we can talk about what seems real and what doesn't seem real, like, but what's really not real is that Andy Matichak was with that fucking repulsive dude. No way he wasn't getting none of that. No way was he getting any of that.
Yeah, she was very sexually aggressive. Like from minute one, like she's seen this guy coming. Like she's seen Corey, what the American name,
who isn't even that an attractive guy, as another guy saying this. He's
yeah,
not.
right.
You look at him and
he's just a guy.
He's just very much a guy. He's not even like, well, there's Harry Styles. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. So Andy Matichak, who plays Thingy Allison, who is Laurie Strode's granddaughter, she is a nurse in this film, and she basically sees this guy. In fact, Laurie brings this guy in who's just been through some kind of 80s bully attack, which we'll talk about shortly.
Get back in there!
Fuck me. We'll talk about that as well. So he's been through this bullying attack. He's got some glass in his hand, and she's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this guy and meet my granddaughter because he seems cool." Right? So she's a nurse at the hospital, and she is immediately like, "I want that guy inside me," like that. And it's to the point where you just go, "That's ridiculous." First of all, it makes her seem completely unprofessional as a nurse, right?
Which is why she didn't get the promotion. One of the reasons why she didn't get the promotion.
One of them.
Some things never change.
Aye. I'm lucky I've been promoted many times in my life. still picking the sticky bits out my teeth.
Yucky.
So yeah, she's really sexually aggressive to the point where if the roles were reversed, they'd be like, "Oh, cancel this film, cancel it. No, it's a sleazy prick." It's like, no, I can't do that. It's a woman that's doing it. It's fine. And he's kind of trying to give her the brush off, and she's just like, "Nope, I'm coming for you, motherfucker." But she is given much more a kind of look at me role in this film compared to the previous ones, I would say. And Kevin's just gone silent.
Right.
That's getting edited. Like fuck.
No, it's no. She's very much. She's got it going on in this. I feel like she's I mean, it's 4 years later as well, and I think she's trying to readjust to life. And again, why is she going out with that guy that's a cop? Why was she ever with that dude? And I even whispered over to my wife. I went, no fucking way is she with him. And she goes, mine, she was fucked up. I was like, fair play.
For some reason, Biff Tannen for Wish is a cop in this film.
Biff Tannen for Wish.
Seriously,
Wish
man.
Wish Tannen.
Aye. Biff Wish. That's it.
Biff Wish.
And I'm sure that when you actually release this episode, you'll be bringing up some pictures in comparison. Because but that the first thing I thought when I seen that guy was like, that looks like Biff. That's Biff. That is Biff. And there's sequences later on where he's being a bit of a dick. You're like, yep, definitely Biff. So I don't think that would have happened. But like your missy said, she is fucked up. So I don't know. What's the opposite to any holes a goal?
I don't know that one.
I don't know. anybody that's listening, please try and come up with an alternative.
Here's another thing. Here's another thing that gets me right. Halloween's very good at this, but horror movies in general is good. I'm sitting there like that. Well, that guy was nasty for no reason. Did. That guy was nasty for no reason. Well, he's gonna die too. It's like they set up people that they want you to die, to get killed. So they make you at home sadistic as fuck. Because you're going, I hope he gets fucking done. You start to root for Michael Myers. They plant that seed because they make people. How many times a day do you get people really? I mean, unless you work in retail or a call center, you don't tend to get that many arsehole folk daily treat you like that. You know, they exist, but they don't tend to just target you every single day. This boy's going, well, I suppose he did kill a kid. Scratch that.
Accidentally. I mean, it was deemed in court to be accidentally. He was charged with like involuntary manslaughter or something. So it was clearly an accident. But I think the whole one of the many things that annoyed me about this film was they stole so much shit for other films for this film. Right now, primarily it. Right, you look at what they try and say about Haddonfield. Or Haddonfield, it's the town itself now is in darkness. The town itself is turning people into things that they aren't. It shows you people hanging at the start of the film. That it shows you like a double, like a suicide, homicide thing in a car.
Shot in the head.
Aye, and it's like, okay, so Haddonfield for some inexplicable reason is now Derry, right? Also, Michael Myers is living in a fucking sewer, man. He's living. That slightly reminds me of another very well known horror character. Not that one, but yeah, Pennywise.
He sleeps in the sewer before though.
What in Halloween 4?
Is it 4 or 5? Yeah, he was in the sewer. He did sleep in the sewer. Eats rats.
The point I'm making is that that's two things that have directly been stolen from it, to the point where I think that there could be grounds for suing. Now, this is obviously an American movie, and Americans can sue for anything because that's just what they like to do. Why do Americans like to sue so much? And why is it coming over here? Because it is like a fucking freight train, like the number 7 Kev bus. Both there it is. So. Yeah, some major theft going on from other intellectual properties, I would say.
Some IPs, some other IPs, aye.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, how drastically different did Laurie become after? So remember, Halloween and Halloween Kills pretty much the same night. So fast forward 4 years later, and she's like, I know, mind that time in 1978 when I was getting chased about, it pretty much cut my arm and killed like 4 folk. Well, that fucked me up for life. But see, when he came back, killed my daughter, her husband, tried to kill me, killed nearly the whole fucking town. I'm going to sleep now with no bars on my windows. That was a quick turnaround.
So I'm going to buy the house on Nebolt Street before it gets fucked up. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move into that house. By the way, if you look at that, ridiculous. She moves into this quiet suburban neighborhood, living a normal life, like nothing ever happened. She's carving pumpkins at Halloween, like nothing ever happened. That's not how PTSD works. You can't just go, fuck it. That's not how it works, as far as I'm aware. I don't suffer from PTSD, but from what I understand about it, you can't just go, well,
that's me done with that.
What you gonna do?
I want to bring up 2 things, right, about this movie. One is this: what the fuck was the use for her being in this movie?
Or the previous one?
I can at least get the previous one for everybody that's not watching us on YouTube. I'm talking about Kyle Richards' character, who was initially in the 1978. She was also Lindsay as well, but she's Lindsay. She's now just basically working in a bar. What was the purpose of her even being back for Ends? I thought there was no real purpose to that. And Will Patton How fucking old does he look now?
I love Will Patton, man. He was
He's
one of the
phenomenal.
most charming things in the film, and he's only in it for about 4 minutes.
I know.
No, it's not a spoiler, by the way. He doesn't die or anything. It's just that that's the screen time he gets. It's probably still more than Michael Myers, though, to be honest.
I know. But hey, how much does he have seemed to have aged from just even Halloween Kills to now? It's only been 4 years. Yeah, he looks like he's ready for his box.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, sorry. You're gonna need to do a wee.
What's up?
I gotta pee.
God dang! Oh no, I'm not gonna edit. I'm just gonna.
Of course you know. I don't even know why I suggested it. Right. And I look forward to seeing what you say about me when I'm away, when I watch this episode back. Thank you.
The man's had too many westerns. Too many westerns. J-Mac's going for a pee. And ta-da, he's back. There he is. He's back from his big dump. There was no way that was only a pee. You were gone at least 20 minutes.
It was
how many
one line pee. It was one line pee.
Right. 4 hours later.
A few moments later.
Aye. So it was. So we see the kids then rock up to the store where, I mean, it's a store he's coming out after he's buying some milk, and I like the customer service in that shop as well. You want to hurry up before? Was you gonna just stand there? And are you gonna buy something? It's like, wait a fucking minute, man. Let me make my mind up.
I only really got that on the second view, and it's like she knew who he was, and she was like, I do not want him in my shop at all.
No, I did get that straight up, but I thought, as far as customer service goes, that's quite pish. Then he goes outside, and I know, like, come on. They go outside, and those wee dafties are there, and they're giving him crap because they're not doing what he wants them to do. And he smashes that bottle and proper guts his hand up.
Yeah.
Boris Strode like, here, we'll just cut our tires and that,
See,
also,
this is what I was saying about the 80s bullies. I mean, look at those bullies. Straight out of the 80s, man. One of them's got a fucking mullet. The other one's wearing like a varsity top. It's like, are you kidding me on? Are you actually joking? These are 80s bullies. Try and like bring it up to date a wee bit.
Another thing is
make them vegans. Vegans are the biggest bullies you'll ever fucking meet.
And see Andy's character, Alison. So, you know, if I said to you, especially when it comes to females, right?
Females?
You didn't ever want any of the females. If I said to you, like, your sister, Sarah, right? Would you say Nick was not married to your sister, Sarah, right? And he's just your pal, but there's a wee glimmer of something between them. Would you be like that? Man, go and fucking get balls deep in my sister. Would you say that to him?
Most likely not.
Right. But it seems that Laurie's like to her granddaughter, like, get in about it. And I'm like, that's just no natural.
She's like, do you know what? She's not done indecent since she was nailing Wishbiff. Let's get this new guy in. This guy's got specs on. He looks like a respectable guy.
And she grabs the pumpkin and she's just like, you just want to rip your top off, and she just throws it, and she's so passionate about her getting.
I was
what?
cringing at that scene, man. So you just want to rip your shirt off, and she's like, it's like, show your tits, and for some reason she gives the camera the finger. Show your tits, like. I don't remember even my granddad. I don't remember my granddad ever saying, right, son, get your balls out. I don't ever remember anything like that. I think that there's a really strange relationship going on between Laurie and Alison at this point.
Right.
Hey, Alison, get your chebs out, hen.
See that wee boy I brought to you? Go and fucking jump him and what? It's just no realistic, is it?
Go and slide down him like a fireman on a pole. That's a great idea.
I know. And then he goes to the wee party where, right? And he's having a great time. He's like, oh, this is the first time I had a great time at any time. Of course, typical woman has to ruin the fun, eh? Oh, you killed my son. Oh, it was so fucking 2019.
It's like, come on, Hen, move on. I'm trying to get pushed.
No, move on. We're not trying to make a best out here. Fucking here, drink. Loosen up a bit.
Was his scarecrow mask? It was very reminiscent of the Rob Zombie homemade masks.
I wonder if that was a wee nod.
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Not a deliberate one anyway. They probably just stole it because they've stolen everything else about this film.
You want to talk about something that's been stolen? Tell me you don't look at this image and expect more brains.
Maybe that's one for the audience because I've not seen that film yet. Yep, I haven't seen it yet. I'm assuming you're referring to Return of the Living Dead.
Yep, this is how it kicks off. The second one, anyway.
What's he even saying? He's like, all right. Check the length of my banger.
No, he's basically saying Michael Myers just tried to strangle me there, and instead of running like any other child would do, I'm just going to stare in. And then that madman for fucking Never Ending Story, he made it, comes up and starts fucking trying to do him. What's that about? Oh, they're really young.
I did. I mean, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought I'd be tired at 11, 12 at night? Aye, who'd have thunk it? I'm not used to doing podcasts at this time of night. This is unheard of. This is just
we usually wrap up at this time. So she's coming in and she's proper screaming up that. Oh, you look at your in a class time and that. Eh, my son's still fucking DD. Fucking. So he's like that. He goes outside and he's like, goodbye. You are not my friend and you are not my fellow DJ. Goodbye forever to Andy Magicat. And she's like, no. And I felt like it was going to turn into a song when the hands went up at her forehead.
What was that, by the way, that transition for her hands to the moon?
I know, aye. It must have been stolen for something. Then he's just trying to walk home in peace, and they fuck him off a bridge.
Aye, which he gets no injuries from, by the way. I mean, it was a powerful enough impact for him to be knocked out for God knows how long. Then he just kind of wakes up and he's like, brush that shit off.
I know. Well, he kind of wakes up as Michael Myers has like slid him down a
40 bastard minutes in.
That was actually 40 minutes in. So they were quite mean, throwing him off the bridge and that. Oh no, we've just killed some cunt. No. 40 minutes in and she turned him in. And then Andy gets home and she's just like, I'm raging about this. I'm no happy. He wakes up in this wee dingy place. Michael's like, come here. He's hiding. Starts choking him and he's like, oh, you're a wee bit like me. I'm not going to kill you. Drops him and lets him run away. Then big fucking mad wizard looking cunt outside and he's like, oh, I'm Michael Myers. Why'd he let you go? If you're Michael Myers, how can Michael Myers let him go?
Aye. I don't know. I think this is just trying to tap into everybody's fear of the homeless.
Pretty much.
We all have that inherent fear where it's like, oh no, there's a homeless guy. I think I'll just pretend I'm on my phone, or I'll just walk over the other side of the street. Or as I used to do, I'd go and buy them a bag of chips, which they would reject, because apparently homeless people don't like to eat chips.
Well, I used to get them burgers and stuff, and they were always, oh, thanks very much. And I always felt even
That's where I went wrong. Burgers.
Cheap bastard. Get them a waffle. Why a waffle?
Honestly, I'll never forget that night. It was this old homeless lady. It looked like the mum for the Goonies. Zita, stupid and niente. And I was like, hey pal, how you doing? She, so you want a bag of chips? And she held her hand out to take it and then pulled back and went, has you got salt and sauce in it? I was like, guess I'm enjoying these chips then, yeah. Apparently beggars can be choosers.
I guess I'm having these chips. And the best it is I know you don't have sauce on your chippies. So they didn't have any sauce on them, did they?
No. I'm a salt only guy. Sauce is to be used on chicken. That is pretty much it. Don't use sauce on anything else. Never.
That
See,
is
like,
that is
see
a
if you get,
debate we'll have.
mate, see these folk that get like a fillet steak. They'll spend 30 quid on a fillet steak and then just cover it in peppercorn sauce. What are you fucking doing? What are you actual doing, as the Waynes would say these days? Actual. My boy said it to me the other day. I told him something interesting, and he went, "Huh? What? Actual?" It's like, get that fucking phrase out your mouth before I smack it out, son. It's really or actually. Do not look at me straight in the eye and say, "Is it actual?" Oh, fucking brain dead, man.
Class, man. Hey, by the way, how often when they touch that, it's like they always play with that wee piano. You know, the one that the guy's playing at the start before his son turns into mince, and it's like dee dee dee. And at first I thought, oh, that's the wee tune that comes on in the first one, right? It kind of almost was.
I'll tell you what I thought. In fact, can we do it at the same time?
Okay, I don't know what we're doing here.
Just go 3, 2, 1,
And then
and
hum it
what that
together.
be? Dee, dee, dee. What did it remind you of? Right?
Aye.
Right. So 3, 2, 1, go.
The very first one where he's watching him, it's like dee 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 dee. Yeah.
Now, for me, that was Dead by Daylight.
Really? I mean, it's very similar.
Ding,
It's very similar.
ding, ding, ding.
No, but it's very much the same. It's just in a different time signature, I think. It's very similar. It's that one. Any road.
No, actually, no, because in the original it was ding, 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 boom, ding, 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 boom.
That's the one.
But ding, 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 ding. That's just Dead by Daylight.
That is Dead by Daylight. And I was kind of expecting somebody to be like, oh, wait a minute.
There wasn't enough of that. There's not enough of that in the film, by the way. I mean, there's variations of it, but there's not enough of the just.
Do you know, just as a Halloween
piano
fan, I'm sitting there, right? And it's very starting the music. It starts, you know, the radio, hello, blah 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 blah, right? And then my wife's like, oh, this is some beginning. I'm like, no, 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 right? And then it's all kicking off and that, and I'm like, look, I says, first off, I'm like, you're not going to see Michael. Also, they've not done their big bit yet. She's like, what bit you on about? I'm like, I was like, wait, right? And then it happened, and I'm like, there it is. And she's like, you're loving this, eh? I'm like, hi. Look at man.
Whereas I was like, no, because the writing's fucking blue.
It can't be blue. Can't be blue. Aye, so they go to the house where, and by the way, there's still bloodstains on the fucking wood where the boy was snapped.
Yeah.
Some fall, I know, eh? He kind of like comes down, hurts himself, and then kind of springs back up and snaps himself at the same time, eh?
Hurts himself. There's an understatement. Look, he fell for the third floor, hit the deck, and just went,
I am bastard. That was there.
Wait, mate, what about Corey's mum, David Schwimmer, wearing a wig, right? She's like that. Boys that keep secrets don't get custard. And he proper looked pissed that he wasn't getting his custard. He was like, that's quite pish. No,
yeah.
I'm not getting custard because of this.
Another thievery, blatant thievery from another very well-known horror franchise.
About custard?
Not about custard, but just like bad boys don't get custard. That's fucking Norma Bates, man.
Mm,
and the way she kisses him really strangely. Like later on in the film, she gives him a kiss, and it's like almost tonguey, and you're like, ugh.
She's like, you can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat.
Do that again.
You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat. You stand still, laddie. What's that for, J-Mac?
I have no idea.
It's a very famous album by Pink Floyd called The Wall.
Yeah.
And
music, you know me, man. Music is always lost on me, pretty much.
You know, I probably know more about music than I do movies, and I believe I know a fuck ton about movies. That gives you an insight to a podcast I've never done as a music one. Probably be quite good at it too, just purely on my knowledge. Where you know dialogue like it's written in your brain,
yeah,
and know fucking music, mate.
Remember when we interviewed Billy Bob Thornton? And like, all right, this is all going to be about music. I was like, right, Kev, batter in. Every now and again, I'd just jump in and go, hey, funny statement. And then just walk away again.
Sorry.
But in my
Apologies.
defense, I did make Billy Bob Thornton laugh. So.
Mate, how many folk do we know? Or if you travelled the UK, how many people could say that statement? Nobody. So these guys get to a diner, right? We, Corey and Alison. And then the ex, who seems like, again, Wish Tannen. That's phenomenal, Wish Tannen. That's a Matthew man. Wish Tannen rocks up to the table in proper American movie style, and is like, you gotta take us back and that. And he's like, we're fine. He's like, I still can't get my head around that this was a relationship, because he seems like 40 years older than her. Also, no way, like they probably were in a relationship, but he probably didn't touch her, right? Because I'm not fine with that. I'm no fine with that.
The thing is, like, after the whole altercation with him and Corey, and he's like, okay, I see something in this guy's eyes. This guy might stab me. And he goes back to his table full of his other police bros, right? They does this annoying thing they always do in American films where they're like this. Like, man, it's cool. It's cool. It's all good. Then they do this really swift beer drink where he's like,
I know.
what is that?
I know.
Don't do the swift beer drink. You look like a dick.
Swift. He turns very quick, Corey, doesn't he? And by the way, what was with the face in the wall when he chases Michael? He chases Corey, and Corey's kind of leading him to Michael's cave. He goes in there, and he's like, "Hey, what's that?" And it's like Michael's face embedded in the wall.
I did not even notice that, man.
You didn't notice it?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I didn't.
I'll get a screenshot of it now, my man. Telling you.
Maybe I never gave this film enough credit for subliminal messaging.
There was definitely he goes into the wee place where Michael's been hiding for 4 years, right? Which is quite a cool. By the way, if you're going to hide anywhere, that's quite a good wee place to hide. Like,
aye, a place that's totally open for anybody to walk in. That's great.
Aye, and not only that, but it just kind of semi looks all right. I'm preparing this wee screenshot for you, right? And I'll bring it up, but it is very, very much Michael's face in the wall, and I'm like, where does that go? Like, what is the purpose in Michael's face being in the wall? Like, you think there's something more to that for the future? Because I know that's their trilogy done. I don't think they had any plans to do more than what they've got.
I hope not.
Well, and bear in mind, it is what it is. This is their take on it. Just like Rob Zombie's. People will probably shit on that in another 10 years. They'll shit on that like they now shit on Rob Zombie. They never shit on Rob Zombie at the time, by the way, until Halloween 2 came out.
But Halloween 2 was a lot, like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was a lot better than this piece of shit. In fact, it was better than Halloween Kills.
Well, look, I'm going to show you now. Look at that face in the wall. That's Michael.
How did you even notice that, man?
I notice things and I drink. I'm looking. But look at that. Tell me you're seeing it.
Oh no, I can definitely see it. It's clearly there. That's just
so. What's that all about?
What's that? I think so that people might talk about it and go, "What's that all about?" And they have no idea what it's about.
Like, okay, he's been there, but what did he do? Like, carve that out of the wall with his finger? Like, even he says, "Hey, what's that?" Like, he very much makes a point of letting you know it's there. And I saw that and was like, "Oh, Michael's face in the wall." Why? Why is Michael's face in the wall? Why is his face in the wall?
Could have been to justify the Star Trek opening title, because obviously we know it's William Shatner's face.
That can only be the reason for it.
So yeah, after one meeting with Michael where Michael strangles him, he then goes out and kills this other homeless guy. Oh, by the way, shout out to Nick Castle, who makes a
mate. I'm the only one in the cinema going, and I'm like, that's Michael Myers. And my wife, she's like, is it? Is it? I'm like, it's the original one, aye. But he's kind in this or no. It's like him and James Courtney. Both of them play Michael, but that's him. That's him. He also made Dennis.
Funny thing, like last time I seen him was on the Movies That Made Us on Netflix when he was wearing shitey trousers, which was just awkward as hell. It's like he clearly shat himself just before going on camera and thought, "Fuck it, I'm not saying anything. Hopefully they won't notice."
No,
And there it is. He's walking up the stairs and there's a big brown shitty stain in his pants, which is it's really quite sad in a way. Aye. Nick Castle or loose asshole.
It fucking shit itself. Where's my colostomy bag? Corey goes very quickly from I'm just Corey, who's had a hard time, to Kev, what? I'm the new Michael Myers.
Yeah, and he's not that interesting, really.
No, not really.
He's not.
I also expected Andy to fuck that doctor up eventually. We kind of got the, but she never done nothing.
Oh, here's a bit, right? We're talking about the whole promotion thing and how the really, really attractive redhead got the promotion above Alison's character.
No,
Alison. Andy's character, Alison. She's like, oh, I so thought he was going to give it to you. But no, he's giving it to me in more ways than one, motherfucker. So it shows you like the doctor and the new charge nurse having their little kind of date in his house, which is a very nice house, by the way.
I'd fuck him just to chill.
And then it's like she goes outside and you can see in the background that somebody's getting stabbed. Like you can see in the background, just like boom, boom, boom. But for some reason, she doesn't hear him getting stabbed until she switches the lights on. Right, that's two different senses, man. Light is for sight, hearing is not. Right, but she turns the light on. All of a sudden, you can hear the smooshing sound. It's like, no, you don't switch on the lights to hear stuff. You fucking idiot.
No.
That annoyed me. That annoyed me.
Sure. And then Michael shows up and does that same Kelly done in the first one. He grabs a redhead because she's like, oh yeah.
Aye. Then we get the head tilt that only worked in the first one, but they've kept on doing it since.
I kind of felt like Michael was out to pasture a wee bit.
Yeah.
And then Corey's like, I'm just going to jump off this roof. This is so badass. I'm just jumping off this roof. And out comes who I thought was Mike Epps, but it's not. I kind of felt like Mike Epps, though. And he's basically being one of those characters that is very unsavory for no reason. And by the way, when Corey wakes up in the house because he's been chucked out by his mad David Schwimmer looking ma, right? Kathy, right? But he wakes up. Laurie Strode isn't really there, am I right? Because she disappears when she's tapping the seat against the wall. And she's like, yo, stay away from Andy.
No, she was there.
But she disappears without walking out the room.
That's just bad filmmaking.
No, I believe that was her being in his mind, which then made me think, well, wait a minute. Do you think Michael deals with the same thing then?
It's not that well thought out, man.
Well, he sits on the stair with a cut hand and he's talking to her, right? But then when it cuts back to the seat, it's empty.
Yeah, she just left. She left.
I don't know. I don't know if that's him talking to himself because he knows she's onto him when she looked at him in the eyes. Because straight away, as soon as she looked him in the eyes, I was like, she sees Michael's eyes in his eyes because Michael saw it, you know?
Yeah. I'm finding it so hard to talk about now because I can't give it that much credit. I can't give the film that much credit.
He laughs. He kind of laughs and looks back. Yeah, he laughs, looks back at the seat, and she's not there. He goes, and he's laughing as she's talking, and then he looks like that, and the seat is empty. And what I looked at, I just reviewed it right there in front of my own eyes. The seat's empty.
So why would he be seeing that image?
Because he knows she's onto him. Because she looked him in the eyes. And he's like, And I think that's the closest to Michael Myers, the Michael Myers psyche. Because even Rob Zombie done it as well, where the mum, obviously it's his wife, right? But the mum keeps coming back and talking to him. Because
nepotism.
Aye. But you know what I mean? And the way the seat's still against the wall, so to get off the seat, she'd have had to have put the seat down to sit up. Do you want me to screenshot the image of the seat? It's still against the wall. So it's like there's your normal seat. Right? It's against the wall like that, so she'd have to put her weight forward to get up. She's not there when she's speaking to him in the house. That's not her. That's him. And I think that's why he's like, And he picked up on that. I'm telling you, watch it again. Anybody that's listening, watch it again. She's not there. Because it's a split second. She's still speaking when she's off cam. And then he starts laughing and looks over at the seat and she's not there. And then he runs to the window, looks out the window. She's not leaving the house.
Okay.
Telling you, she's no there. And then he goes in and he just starts fighting with Michael Myers, who's unable to overpower him. And then, but bear in mind, in the last scene, he had the redhead up with one hand against the wall, right? Which is a human body, regardless it's a female or no. She probably weighs the same as him. He can't, right? He can't fight him, Corey, and Corey knocks him down, takes his mask off him. At that point, I thought, he day. I thought the next time Michael gets him, he day, because he's just stole his mask.
It was another kind of problem I had. Like when him and Michael kind of teamed up on Wishbeth, and all of a sudden Michael started kind of having some kind of seizure when he was standing up. I was like, what the fuck is actually going on there? And then it's just never addressed.
Well, I'm going to put it down to the fucking doing he got in Halloween Kills.
That was fucking 4 years earlier. If you can't get over a doing in 4 years, there's something really badly wrong with you.
Well, let's break it down. He was shot, stabbed, right? And he had no medical attention from then. So think of and if you look at his hands as well, the infection, like he's worn down. Everything that happened to him that night, man, he got fucking stabbed several times. He got hit in the head with an iron, done him with a baseball bat, kicked in the head. They fucking leathered him.
But then why does he all of a sudden
bones and stuff?
Why does he all of a sudden get so much stronger?
When? Oh yeah,
like you said, when he's pinned her up against the wall and stuff.
I don't know. I think it's wee bursts, perhaps. What does it say? The more he kills, the more he ascends. No, really, because he's in a fucking gutter for 4 years. Like, yeah.
But from what I understand, though, he has been killing it during that time because the mad wee homeless guy is like nobody that ever goes in there ever comes out again. So why did he let you go, Corey? Oh, Corey. I can imagine ever naming my kid Corey.
Perhaps that face print in the wall is just somebody's face that got fucking smashed against it then.
It just happened to look just like Michael.
Maybe he battered fuck it to William Shatner. Hence
maybe just go bust one night and fell into the wall.
But the way it's chiseled, like it's not like him. The way the face is mangled into the wall, it's coming out. So he'd have to go he'd have to go from within the wall to out.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Unless he's quite artistic.
It doesn't make something in this film doesn't make sense. No way, man. No way.
We get to the next scene, and the bullies. Well, no, one of them's called Billy. Shock.
Shocker.
Right in the 80s. Mate, how bad is that boy gets fucking face blowtorched?
That did look pretty painful.
I
Like.
was like,
The thing is,
oh.
there was something that happened really early in the film where you just go, well, that blowtorch is coming back at some point. And it surely fucking does. It definitely does.
Another thing is the last, like, Corey probably couldn't stamp one stamp. Like Michael, yes. Corey stamping once on a lass's head and it caves in? Nah, unlikely.
Aye, but the whole evil transfer thing, man, it makes him stronger, man.
Did it transfer or was it always there? That's the question Laurie asks. Lassie gets rattled out of the heat. I don't. Why are you not show it? It shows. Oh, by the way, how class was it that the wee light tube Lassie didn't die? Oh.
Aye, that was nice here too. It was nice of them to bring her back for one scene where she sat and went like this. Stop me. Do you not feel guilty about that? No. She's got her daily record compo face on.
My wallpaper doesn't stick. That's so funny. But do you know what? I actually was so happy to see her back. I thought she got it tight with the light tube. Proper got it tight. and Corey's dad gets shot right in the napper. I felt like I liked him.
He was a good guy.
The thing is, you knew he was salt of the earth. You just knew.
They could easily have written that stepdad character to be an absolute arsehole, but he was a genuinely good guy, which was unusual. That was his stepdad, aye. Or certainly his mum's boyfriend, anyway.
How do you know it wasn't his dad?
Because he calls him by his first name.
Right. But so Alison's phone goes and it says Laurie.
Well, that's just an oversight on the filmmaker's part. That would say Gran.
Which is exactly what I thought.
Or maybe not, actually, because they were estranged for so long. Maybe.
No, you've had 4 years to change it. She pretty much is living with her now and no buying it. Was that actually his stepdad?
Aye. They were having dinner together and everything. Remember, like, the mum was being all fucking Norma Bates, and then she leaves the room, and then he's like, oh, don't tell her about the motorbike, by the way.
But that doesn't make him a stepdad. That could be a dad.
Oh. You froze.
No, I've not froze. I just stayed still. You froze. You froze.
I think we're back. No, I think it's pretty clearly his stepdad, or certainly his mum's boyfriend. Definitely.
No, I'm not getting that. Where did you get that for?
The film.
No, at what point did he call him Ronald?
When he gave him the motorbike. So thanks, Ronald.
Oh, okay. Right, I'll give you that then.
Oh, thank you.
I must have missed that with everything else that was going on.
Anyway, so you can spot a Michael Myers face in a rock, but you can't hear somebody say the name Ronald. That just shows you how little of a fuck you give about the characters, man.
Rubbish.
You're like, character, no fucks given. Another character, no fucks given. They're a rock with a face in it. Mint.
Mate, I love that they were watching the John Carpenter classic, The Thing, on the telly. And
was back to the start again, are we?
No, because no Retreat, No Surrender was also on the telly just before Ronald got shot in the pus, wasn't it?
I didn't even notice that.
It was Van Damme.
Was it all Van Damme?
Aye, just before he got shot right in the pus. And then he heads over to the radio station where I was howling in the cinema. Right, to the point folk were turning, looking at me, going, "Why is this guy laughing at the boy getting his face smashed in?" Right, and my wife's doing this. That's a face palm for everybody listening at home on Spotify.
You do have this uncanny ability to just laugh at really inappropriate stuff, but in your defense, when that guy got his face panned in, even my wife laughed, and then she went, then she went, "Oh, why am I laughing at that?" It's like because it looked cheap, nasty, and crap. It looked horrendous, man.
And here's another thing, though, right? It's funny in that when the tongue's going round on the vinyl and whatnot. But you know what I didn't like? What I didn't like was the fact that when he cuts the tongue off, right, and drops his head, he then goes like this and walks away like Michael Myers. Go fuck yourself. Just because you're wearing his mask doesn't mean you're him. Stop moving like him.
But just before that, like outside the radio station, he does the Undertaker stroke Michael Myers setup. So it's like apparently the transfer of evil or whatever it is results in similar physical behaviors.
No buying it. Also, when the boy got,
I'll tell you no buying it, man, because the film's shite. This film is actual. I'm saying it, actual shite.
We'll give her very soon once we get to the end of what happens in it. We'll give her our overall, right? But what made me quite gutted as well was this, right? After the boys had his tongue cut out and he's dead in the radio station, man, he had a sick takeaway sitting there with him that never got even tanned. He's only took about like 3 bites out of his noodles and he never got a chance to finish them. Now it's his own fault because he was mean to the boy, right? But I thought, man, those are some good noodles sitting there that no one's there. No one's gonna eat. Sorry, man, it's been a long day. You
can just do it again. Just say that line again. You can, because this isn't live.
Oh no, I'm treating it like it's live, man. I'm treating it like it's live. So it's a shame that those noodles got tanned. And then we get to we're like, okay, Laurie's next, and her wee granddaughter Alison has been like, you just didn't want me to be happy. She runs away, so she goes up, and this was probably class. At this point in the cinema, people were like, they all kind of cheered a wee bit, in the best way that they could without being disruptive. They kind of just went when she's like, there's been a suicide. You're like, oh no, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. Did you really think I was gonna kill myself? I was like, she's fucking badass, man. She knew he was there. She knew he was there. Everybody in the cinema, you're peeing, aren't you? You're peeing into a bottle, aren't you?
No,
you're not.
I'm leaning on my desk.
Have you peed into a bottle during this episode?
No.
You definitely fucking have, eh? I fucking heard you. You have. Fucking have. Go and drink that bottle of Weston's. Drink it. No. That's a different bottle. That's a different bottle. You've just drank your pee. Anything in that? I don't know, like you got 2 open bottles. You got 2 bottles, aye. Open.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like you've peed during this episode.
I left to do a pee. I could just do it again.
I suppose, fair play. So she goes to shoot herself, and proper looks sad, and then it's just badassery. And it's at that point in the cinema where it's like, oh, badass!
Finally, the film we fucking paid to see.
Yeah, in the last 20 minutes, she shoots Corey twice, doesn't kill him. Bear in mind, he got thrown off a wee bridge, knocked out to fuck, dragged into Michael Myers' wee cave, out for the next day, shot twice, totally fine. And he gets up, and then Laurie shoots the rest of the bullets out and is like, "Oh, go kill me." Don't know why she would do that, but a dafty. And then he kills himself. I think it's because he knew the shots were going to take him, and he probably did like Alison, and then he just proper stab himself in the neck, right? Shot twice, stabbed himself in the neck, still no deed, right? So something must have transferred out of him. And Michael comes in and is like, "Ken, what? Nothing, your pish." Snaps his neck, clean deed.
Aye.
Also, did you not love that Laurie was dressed the exact same? as she was in the first one in these scenes. She was dressed as OG.
Didn't even notice.
Alright, blue shirt, jeans, hair the same and everything, mate.
Aye, blue shirt, the same colour as the fucking title sequence. Stupid.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Here's
I
another
thought
thing as well. See when Alison walks in and she's like, "Oh no, my gran's just killed my boyfriend." Alison, look at him. He's wearing overalls and there's a Michael fucking Myers mask on the ground. What do you think's happened?
Aye, it's like things aren't looking really good for your boyfriend right now.
But straight up, she's quick to fucking judge Laurie.
Yeah, honestly, like I'll look at the stuff in this, like that whole scene. What was going through my head in that scene was she was like, "No, you." I was like, "This is like fucking Coronation Street with knives, man." The acting was
Coronation Street with knives.
the acting was horrendous. Somebody I actually watched another review of this for the attempt of plagiarism, and they were saying how good Jamie Lee Curtis's performance was in this film. And in my IMDb review for this film, I actually said Jamie Lee Curtis was awful. Our performance at times was almost theatrical, like she was on stage. Like when fucking Hawkins tells her that her hair looks nice, and she's like, "Oh, how do you think so? I just got it done. This is L'Oreal, by the way." Like whatever the fuck she says.
I've always loved Jamie Lee Curtis. She's always been in many of my favorite movies.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with that, and she has some very notable assets. Not going to say what they are.
Had.
No, she still has them.
Nah, I'm totally joking.
So nah, I just the acting was so bad at times. Who was actually good in this? Well, Patton was good. He's just always good.
Do you think we'll see any more Andy Magikarp after this?
Andy Magikarp, aye, aye, that's how you say it.
Because between 2018 to now, she's not really been in anything that's really notable for someone that's essentially like been one of the final girls in a very popular movie series.
Think about how many final girls or second to final girls there's been in horror movies over the years, and they just never show up again.
I just feel like she deserves. I mean, she's married with like 3 kids, by the way.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
To who?
Didn't expect that. No fucking wish bill.
But wish biff. Wish bill.
I kind of felt like she was younger than us, and you just don't look at her and go, "Oh, you look like someone that's proper settled down," but she is very much. Class for her. But I think she deserves a wee bit more. I think I'd like to see a bit more with her in it.
I'd like to see a bit more of her too. Yeah. So the final act, the act of the film that we all paid to see, was the showdown between Laurie and Michael.
Which I totally thought Laurie was going down with Michael, by the way. I thought it was a whole Harry Potter Voldemort thing.
Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll end it like we've started together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah.
Stabby chocus. Stabby chocus. Aye. So the last 20 minutes of the film, and again, my wife said this as we were watching it. She was like, "This has been the best bit of the whole film because the rest of it's been shit." Like,
and another
shit
thing as well. See while we're on that, the whole final showdown again, and they've stayed with us. Michael doesn't give a fuck about Laurie. Laurie gives a fuck about Michael. He was only there to get his mask. Every time she's bumped into him throughout this trilogy, he's never been there for her.
It's like, that's fucking lassie again, man. What's her problem?
Right.
Honestly, man.
Right.
It's like, I spent £3 on this mask in 1978. I just want it back. right? I just want it back. Will you get yourself to fuck? Because you're going to end up getting stabbed or choked. Please just go away.
Every time. I mean, Halloween Kills, she didn't even come in contact with him.
Aye. It's not like a Halloween sequel to leave Jamie Lee Curtis in a hospital bed for most of the film.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but I like that they set themselves some rules and they stayed to it. You know, they eliminated that was ever her brother. Good. All right, I'm fine with that. And then they were like, at first she's like, he's only coming for me. Michael's like, who are you? Right? The reason that they met in the 2018 was because of the wee mad doctor cunt, right? And then again here, he never came for her. She stayed truly traumatized by him and always felt like he was there to get her. But that was never the case. Michael's like, man, I'm just trying to do my job. Go and get him away. You know what I mean?
Hi. Absolutely.
And I quite like that they kept it to that. So they have their wee showdown, right? Which, by the way, Jamie Lee Curtis kind of just kicks his ass. And again, I'm going to attribute that to the Halloween Kills. You know, the whole town smashed him to fuck. He's been in a cave, like a sewer, all fucked up for some time. Do I think this was the movie to end him like that? No. I think we should have seen more of him in this movie than what we did, which is a wee bit unfortunate. But they have a wee tussle. He gets the sewing thing out again. This time tries to proper do it. You know, the sewing thing that he got stabbed with.
Yeah.
And did you see the state of his hand when she stabs him? He's clearly got some sort of leprosy or something.
He doesn't have leprosy. She blew his fucking fingers off with a shotgun 2 films ago.
I know, but yes, his hand looks all grotesque in that. So he's clearly suffering for stuff, right? Which is why she's able to overpower him. She kind of pins him up, right? And by the way, I've got a great idea for the next movie, right? Ask me for it right then. She kind of stabs him to hell, right? And then stabs him again, cuts his throat. And by the way, see that scene where she takes the knife after he tries to choke her again, and she cuts right down his wrist. I heard this in the cinema. Oh, like it was all right when the boy was getting his face blowtorched, right? But you cut Michael's wrist, and wow, that's a bit far. That's a bit much.
She's like, oh, I've tried that.
Oh no.
I mean, and the whole thing with it, the hand split apart when you ripped it out for the knife. It was okay. It was pretty cool. Like the ending of the film was the just before the ending of the film was cool, and then it just lost its shit again.
So they drag him through the town on top of the car like he's a dead buck. And I thought, see, I actually thought, when they take him up to the shredder, I was like, oh, because when I seen that earlier in the movie, I was like, that's getting used on somebody. Like, that's getting used on somebody.
Same as the blowtorch.
Aye. And then I thought, well, there's Laurie's the only one standing on it. I thought, how cool would it be if he just drags her into it with him, right? I would have been fine with that. But nah, see the way he bursts like a Kinder Egg, man. When he gets when he goes into that thing. And he just proper like, oh, they do him, man. They do him good.
I don't know, man. I think that actually seeing him going into that compactor thing was
gutting.
Well, nah, it cheapened it.
I think so.
Cheapened it even more than it was already cheapened.
Nah, because you're like this. You're like, wait a minute. How do you know he's dead? All that does is eliminate, unless it's like Halloween Returns and he comes back as a milkshake. There's no fucking way he's coming back. And you needed that final. He's done.
They've already established this whole thing with the transfer of evil and all that. It can go to literally anybody. It could be. It'll be Halloween 14. Laurie the killer.
No, I know exactly how the next one's going to go. It's going to go like this. You opened the box. We came.
So, why do you open my box of porn now?
No. You open the box. And what happens is Michael Myers will... someone will give Michael... will feed bodies to Michael, and he'll regenerate with Pinhead at the helm.
Michael X versus Pinhead.
Michael X. Well, here's something for you. Halloween franchise makes far too mate. In our 4 years of doing this fucking phenomenal podcast, right? How many great people we had on within the industry that have documented, created stuff. One thing we know is Halloween is far too much of an asset, right? The IP of what it is. If I said to you Halloween X comes out in the next 2 years, we're going to go, when's that out? It's probably going to be shite, but I'm going to go see it. Why? Because we were given gold at the start, right? And that basically anything that came for the 80s, that's why everything's been remade. If the IP kicks ass, you're coming. Mate, the new Hellraiser was class.
Do you know, I might watch that tonight. Or no, not tonight. I'm fucking knackered. Tomorrow.
We'll do an episode on that as well. We'll get Matthew Min on it. Halloween ends as the end of this trilogy, right? And even Jamie Lee Curtis was asked, so you're saying goodbye to Laurie Strode? And I was like, oh, I'm shocked she didn't die, because I kind of thought they'd go out together, right? This is the end of the trilogy. Now, I think, remember, for some time, Jamie Lee Curtis was like, I'm not doing another fucking Halloween movie. No doing another Halloween movie. John Carpenter was like, we're going to do this thing called Halloween Homecoming. Come back. We'll do it together. She was like, because it's you, John Carpenter, and you gave me my career, right? Thank you. I'll come back. We'll do it. John Carpenter was like, I'm fucking out of here. She'd already signed on, right? She's all class, right? They changed the script and everything. This is, again, something you can find in Dustin McNeil's book, Taking Shape Part 2. What happens is she's like, oh, Halloween Homecoming then was named Halloween H2O. And this was to be set aside from all the other Halloween movies and was to just be Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, right?
Yeah.
And she thought, you know what? You've fucked about with this too much. I only said I'd come back as a thank you to John, who's out here because what you guys have done here. So I'll only do the next movie, right? Because I'm contractually obliged to, if you kill me off right at the start so that I never have to come back and do another Halloween movie, right? And then she came back for another 3. But the thing is, Jason Blum and the guys, David Gordon Green and whatnot, Danny McBride, came to her with a concept, and she was up for it. And she's even said that this has turned her career around. So she was asked recently, if you were to ever be asked again to come back as Laurie Strode in another reboot, in another form, would you? And she says, well, it's hard because I am Laurie Strode and Laurie Strode is me. So ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Aye, she says this has been able to give her another lease on her career and do things that she never thought was possible. And to shy away from that would be impossible. She's saying that she's the only one really that will ever be Laurie Strode, and that's the truth. Scout Taylor Compton was her Laurie Strode in the Rob Zombie remakes. Now, what I will say about that is I'm totally fine with that. Do I view Scout as Laurie Strode? Yeah. Do I view her as the Laurie Strode? No. But I think you can never take on a role like Laurie Strode and be Laurie Strode when it's already been, it's already been done. Especially when it's already been done as well as Jamie Lee Curtis did. But one thing I won't do is I won't take away her Scout Taylor Compton's performance, because she was great at what she done, and she was perfect for what Rob Zombie done. And by the way, fucking hats off to Rob Zombie. I did not hate Rob Zombie's double.
No, I really liked the first one. The second one, not so much, but it was still better than this. I think that the time might have come now to do the anthology idea that they had with Halloween 3.
Yeah, I'd be totally cool with that.
Just do original stories with maybe like occasional callbacks to the original, but I don't know. Remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think
what they're going to do, but I think the anthology might be the way to go.
The thing about 2007 Halloween, the Rob Zombie one, is it humanized Michael, right? And again, and this ties into what I'm going to say about Halloween Ends. It humanized Michael because you've got Halloween, you've got Halloween 2, 3, 4, 5, the return of Michael Myers. A lot's been done. John Carpenter says, take it and make it your own. And again, I'm going to preface this with this trilogy. Do you really want to see something that we've already seen? My gripe with this overall is yes, went down a road I kind of didn't want it to. Am I annoyed? No. Do I hats off to them? Absolutely. I can accept it because it's purely a trilogy that someone came up with and was like, we're going to go this way with it. We're not going to do exactly what's been done because it's been done, right? I think if we got what we expected, straight 4 years later, now he's back. He's just hacking folk up. He gets to the end. Laurie kills him anyway. It's all done. People would still complain. It's Halloween. You can never please everyone. I'm going to say, I'm not going to be hard on it. I enjoyed what I was given. Didn't need Corey to be the new shape or whatnot. A lot annoyed me with it. Still got to see some gruesome kills. Laurie was there. Andy was there. There was I'm all right with it, and I know a lot of people are pissed. I'm all right with it.
I'm going to take a much more narrow-minded approach, man. I think that if you've got a formula that works, stick to it. I want to see Michael. When it comes to Halloween, I want to see Michael Myers. I want to see him tear shit up. I want to see Laurie do her stuff. I'm not interested in some new curly-haired specky character that nobody really gives a fuck about. Give me more Michael. That's what I want for Halloween, is I want Michael Myers. Michael Myers haunts my dreams to this day because of the childhood trauma that I had to endure because I seen that film too young. And that is something that I will hold very near and dear to my heart until the end of my life. So give me more Michael, but I would be open to the anthology thing. Just don't fuck about with Michael this much. Don't turn him into an old, helpless hobo. You know what I mean? Just don't fucking do that.
And you know what?
What?
No, I was just going to say, overall, I don't think they handled Michael terribly. I think that I've got enough from this trilogy to go, good on you. They eliminated the sister and brother thing, which was always just a given. Even Rob Zombie went with that, right? They eliminated that. They took their own stab at it. Michael was believable. We got A New Hope, and then it was Empire Strikes Back. This wasn't exactly Return of the Jedi, but how they handled Michael was that he was badass. You felt like you couldn't kill him.
No,
totally cool with that. Totally cool.
What we got was we got A New Hope. Excuse me. We got A New Hope, and then we got the Star Wars Christmas special, and then we got Clone Wars. I think that this
I like Clone Wars.
This trilogy has been a shit show after the first one. The first one recaptured the imagination, recaptured the characters. Was it cheesy? Aye, of course it was cheesy, but it worked. Halloween Kills was horrendous. Halloween Ends can go fuck itself. I've no interest in this film whatsoever. And like I'll give you my wife's quick capsule review of the film, and it was pish. And she's a lifelong Halloween fan as well.
Really, I thought she'd be a shite bag.
No, she said that was pish.
Oh.
So
Matthewman sent me something of his thoughts before the show. I asked him if he wanted to come on, but he's bevied in away a caravan. He says, "Gonna add my thoughts. Ends is what the reboot next movie should have been. Myers' last movie should have been about Myers. Give Damien Leone the budget and let him make a Halloween movie." That's the guy that made the Terrifier.
Yeah.
Aye. Aye. Putting him in a grinder, like, because my wife even said when Michael Myers was all pegged up on the thingy, she's like, cut his head off! Cut his head off! People need to know that there's a finality to his death, that he is not coming back. Otherwise, you're always going to be like, how's he going to come back? Even after he went through the grinder, I had people next to me going, they'll still bring him back.
I know. They're going to sell him as a 5% fucking fat piece of mince, and he's going to possess somebody that bought him in fucking Aldi. Do you know what I mean? It'll be Aldi Ween.
Aldi Ween. Matty man, where are you, man? Matty man. Aldi Ween. I like I say, everybody expects me to hate this because I'm such a Halloween guy, just as you all are, just as we all are. I don't hate it. Do I wish that they gave me Halloween instead of this? Yes. But in the future, I think I'll look back on this trilogy and be like, it gave me Michael Myers back in the cinema. I got to go and see all three of these movies in the cinema, and I'm totally happy with that. I got to see all the Rob Zombie ones in cinema as well. I never got to see the 1978 one because I wasn't fucking here, fucking. And I grew up watching. By the way, in case it's never been said, I grew up watching the Danielle Harris stuff. I watched the Laurie Strode stuff after the Danielle Harris one because my cousins had the videotapes, but they had at the time what was the newest ones, which was 4 or 5. So I grew up with the Danielle Harris stuff before I discovered the Jamie Lee Curtis stuff. So I will always hold. Mate, I try to get Danielle Harris on this podcast, man, but she keeps fucking ducking us.
For me, it's always going to be the 1978 original is always going to be the best. I did like the Rob Zombie iteration, certainly the first one. The second one was better than this piece of shit, but for the sake of what am I trying to say here? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I was going somewhere with it, but that's what I was going to say. They should have left it at Halloween 2018. That was enough. They didn't have to make this a trilogy. They dangled a carrot in front of us that we weren't even after eating the carrot, we realized that we weren't hungry for it. They should have just left it at 2018 because that was a really good reboot. But yeah, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends can go suck an egg. Not interested.
Fair play, man.
And that's that.
Well, I enjoyed going to see it. I've anticipated it for quite some time, and I've enjoyed it. So I enjoyed the killing. But like I says, issues with it, yes, but respect for it, absolutely. I respect the people involved. I respect the new lease of life on the Halloween franchise. I respect a lot that was put into it. So on that, everyone, write to us. Tell us what you thought of Halloween Ends. I think we already know. But I'm glad we were able to do this show. And next, let's do a Hellraiser one. Go watch the new Hellraiser one. I think you'll enjoy that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's been class, and thanks everybody for watching and listening. That may have. We've not had any comments this here night because we're not live like we usually are, but we will be live next week, and we've got some cool guests coming up. We've got some cool stuff coming up.
Yes, we do.
We also have a new affiliate coming up when I can log into it. but
a VPN so secure you can't even log in yourself.
Pretty much. So thank you guys for your endless support, and we will catch you guys next week. Make sure to subscribe, send all the notifications to your friends and stuff. But these guys are all right. Check us out. Let's grow together, guys, because we're giving kind of people, and we'll give if you give. So thanks very much for watching Halloween Ends. Thanks very much for watching our review of Halloween Ends and listening. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. J-Mac.
Cheery bye.
There's never going to be another good sequel. Get ye fuck!